Welcome to another edition of Inspired Discussions, where we challenge the way you think, shattering status quo while increasing your self-worth. They call me Sibley. Serving people is who I am, is what I do, and I'm with my co-host.
Remy, realizing energy made me. Clearly, I got a lot of it this morning.
I'm recording. Go watch TV. Okay. Go watch TV. As y'all see, we had a little guest. I'm not even editing that out. I'm gonna leave that in there. What's good, Inspired Discussions?
No.
Yeah, what's good, Inspired Discussions?
Today is gonna be a good day. I can already see it.
Audience, thanks for tuning in for another week. And on this week episode, a couple weeks ago, what was it? On the Always Grateful episode. And when I was talking about and speaking on how I was ready to, quit, give up. And Remy was like, that was the one time that you would have got full force, like, hold on.
Yeah.
No. Not so fast, my friend.
Mm-mm.
And it got me to thinking. I was like, I always tell them how grateful I am just for our partnership and our relationship.
True.
But
Very true.
I just stuck it. I just had what I mean, like, it really hit me like, man, I'm really grateful for that I got somebody that's not gonna give me the home broadcast, that's not gonna sugarcoat stuff. And this is what I mean by when I say the home broadcast, y'all know in sports they got a national broadcast and they got a home broadcast. The national broadcast, they gonna tell it like it is. They gonna say this team suck. They need to fire this coach. This player need to play better. Blah, blah, blah. But you get to that home broadcast, they get to making excuses. They like, the refs cheated. They always got to out for this team. Like, they could never, making all all excuses instead of putting accountability where it deserves, where it deserves to be placed.
We was already injured.
Right, exactly. The whole team, man, just so many, like, they dealing with injury, blase.
Right.
And it's such a microcosm of life, because in certain circles, like, you have friends where they just give you the home broadcast. They just gonna sugarcoat stuff. They just gonna give you, oh no, don't nobody do those type of things anymore. You're not the only one that's not passing this, or you're not doing this. And so, like, that's where I want to take our discussion today. We gonna branch off from there, but just the importance on having people in your circle that's not gonna sugarcoat shit, that's gonna give it to you straight without chaser. I'm talking about, if it's 5 o'clock vodka, they gonna give it to you straight. They ain't gonna give you no chaser with that nasty shit.
Hey, I know nothing about that. I just want to let that be known as well. But yeah, I get what you're saying, though.
To give you a little context, if you around a person, they say they've been drinking 5 o'clock, fucking run.
Dang.
It's basically it's basically rubbing alcohol. That's what it basically is. Basically fucking rubbing alcohol.
Dang. That's strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
But real? All right, never mind. That's gonna go left. Never mind. Just keep going. My fault. Go ahead.
Yeah, so just the importance of having people in your circle that's not gonna sugarcoat stuff. And Remy mentioned a statement, because when I told him what I wanted to, this mic just wanted to give me problems today. What I wanted to talk about, and it was just another evidence of like how our thoughts align and just how we connected.
Yeah, definitely.
And he
Because
mentioned something.
you said tell me the statement, and that was before you actually told me what you wanted to talk about. Then I
Absolutely.
told you, and it was how you growing but not growing. And then you mentioned that. I was like, after you explained it as well, and I was like, well, yeah, they go hand in hand pretty much. You can break that down in so many ways. So yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
It's it's definitely an important thing to think about, because even on my level, and I'm saying my level of, I'm really just saying my example when I'm thinking about myself within that. I don't even have necessarily a answer to that question, but the best thing I could think of is knowing who I am now today compared to the past makes it a lot easier. And that's good and bad, because I'm like, hearing people say stuff, even though I know for a fact is right in the past, I didn't really care. But now it's like I care enough to not only grow, but yet still provide all the wrong things about me as an open book to the public. So now it's like I'm perfectly fine with it, because that's what made me me. At least that's how I was thinking about it. But how was you thinking about it on your side of it?
It's, I mean, like I say, it tied hand in hand for me, like, cause I always was like, I think I might have mentioned it before on the
Mm,
podcast, where I said like the younger me, the 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 present me right now would laugh
yeah.
and just
Oh, right,
just
right, right,
just
right,
shit on a younger me. Cause like, dude, like, what are you talking about? What are you
right.
doing? Like, what was you thinking? You
Man,
know,
man, yeah, yeah.
so so
Dang.
and then like just as far as the the growing but the growing but not growing, and why I feel like it's so hand in hand to what I wanted to talk about, the home broadcast, because a lot of reasons that's why you grow. That's why you not growing, is because you around all these people that sugarcoating shit to you. You around like
Mm,
that say
yeah.
that I care about you, I want to see you win and succeed, but won't tell you the necessary things in order for you to go to the next level,
Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. You're growing, period. Like naturally you're growing, but yet your atmosphere and what's around you and who's around you, you're growing, but you're not gaining any self-worth at the same time.
Absolutely.
So it's
Absolutely.
like, how and why? How do you realize that after what? Hitting rock bottom?
um Yeah, I think that play a part in it. You cause I just can't stress it. I mention it. Shit, I feel like every episode, experience. Because until you really go through something, or you just reach a point where you just, you know how they use that phrase, like you sick and tired of being sick and tired,
Oh my
and
god.
you finally
That was
realize
yeah,
it
yeah.
finally realized you finally realize like this is insanity. I'm not changing nothing and I'm expecting different results, I'm not
Yeah.
changing nothing
Crazy how that just came full circle. Go ahead, go. My bad. Go ahead. My bad. My bad.
I'm not changing nothing and I'm expecting different results. So maybe, you know what I'm saying, if I change something I will actually get those results, because
Right.
for me,
Dang.
like it hit those moments because I mentioned it before. I mentioned it before where I had to ask myself, okay, are are you gonna start doing things when you just in the mood to do things,
Mm-hmm. That's
or
another one.
or are you gonna consistently, you know, I guess how to say it, consistently, do what's required day in and day out to get the job done. And like that's really where the shift was with me, was when I was like, okay, I'm not about to um
Dang. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not about to keep on having these spurts where I'm like, I'm making ground, but then like I get stagnant because when the feeling when I'm not, let me, how I want to say this, when I'm not, you know, uh
What? Not feeling like it?
no, it's not necessary.
Procrastinating?
No, it's not necessary procrastinating. You know how like when you in a excitement or something, and like it kind of how we are when we get into the flow of these podcasts. You know how we say at the end, like how we
Oh.
feel like, let me go out here and just, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. I got to get that done.
Uh.
What I understand, like the
Dang.
key to
What is
being
a word for that?
I don't know. That's why I'm saying
Yeah.
that,
I get what you're
but
saying though.
yeah, but
And
what I learned though was the key is like not getting into that feeling, but the key is to stay in that feeling. Like when all the dust is settled,
yeah.
like when all the
Yes.
dust is
Yes.
settled or whatnot, like that's when you see your true commitment to something. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Like when the camera's off, nobody watching. What you doing when the lights off and nobody watching you? You know what I mean? Like what you
Mm-hmm.
doing in those moments? And then I just started taking a different approach because I'm like, especially to the last month, because I'm like, man, I got so many people depending on me. Like
Mm.
how I say
I gotta
I'm gonna
play.
make how I say I'm gonna make you a millionaire through this podcast. Like if I'm not bringing my A game day in and day out, that's not gonna happen. You know, so
Right.
it's important for me to consistently stay in that feeling, in that mood. Like, look, serving people
Dang.
is who you are, is what you do. Let's
Right.
continue to always stay in creation mode. Always stay in creation mode.
And that's also you being able to understand who you are. Period. On a deeper level, not just, even though we're always discovering who we are, but there's those moments where it's like, this is who I am right here. I know with this centerpiece right here, everything else attached to it, it's still gonna be the core of who I am at the end of the day. So to hear you say that and still have a different example, I think yours, you just said, was you having other people, you feeling like you have other people that's depending on you on a regular basis. On my end, when you said sick and tired of being sick and tired, that one was mine for me to realize that as well. And that this one isn't even tied to sickle cell. Like you would think that would be one of them. Sick and tired of being in the hospital and sick and tired of being this and that. No, that wasn't the case. I was sick and tired of being looked at a certain way behind that, but not necessarily directing with that. Like for the people that knew me, it wasn't to the point of, all right, this is him and he has sickle cell. It was, this is him, but he won't do this. The other side of me without the sickle cell, I was sick and tired of that. For people to always point that out, the leader, the leadership quality, the you are this, you are that, like all the excerpts that we've had from the previous episodes.
Right,
leader,
right, right.
smart, blah blah blah, yickety yak, yickety yak. That is what I was tired of. And I was like, you know what? I'm tired of that. And at the end of the day, it still came down to the growth that was needed for me to even finally take that in instead of keep letting it going in one ear and out the other. So that's where mine's clicked in. And at the same time, even when you having that voice in the back of your head that you mentioned, well, when you saying that energy, like you said, it doesn't come down to the fact of how do you get into that mode? How do you stay in that? Once I figured that out after realizing who I am as a person and accepting that, being able to stay in that mode, that's when that was like my first moment of, oh, I'm leveling up for real now. So now I know what's really working for me and what's working through me. At the end of the day, when I hear other people that's in my circle, whether it's friends, family, or whatever, I know what I can use and what I can't use when it comes to that interference in regards to the energy that I need to fill my cup up that we've talked about in the last few episodes. So it's like,
Right,
dang,
right.
yeah. Like you still got to understand who you are at the end of the day, because that was for me. I don't think if I would have gained that the way I did and when I did, I don't think I'll be right here being able to have this conversation with you now. Not to say it wouldn't happen. I just don't think it would have been now. Probably would have dragged out a lot longer. But it's something to hear that and then have it broken down in two different ways. And that's the exciting thing to me about that, because this is just us breaking it down. So when you hear somebody else say something else that is not tied to how we broke it down, it's like, yo, here's another perspective. Here's another puzzle piece that you didn't even know was attached to it. And then I begin to think like, man, how many other puzzle pieces out there to get a better understanding of what we're talking about as a whole to create that whole picture. That I really like that.
Facts, facts, facts. And I mean, I use the people depending on me example, but the sick and tired example is I have those moments. Actually, I just had one where I'm like, man, I'm tired of saying in December every year this gonna be my last year working. I'm gonna be self
Ah,
sufficient by the end of the
right,
year.
right, 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 right.
Like I'm tired of it. So dang, this is the first time. I don't think I mentioned this to you yet, but I guess I'm about
No,
to
this
now.
is this is a new one. That's why I'm like,
So
I'm listening now. I'm like, wait,
it
what?
was it was a little bit after the Trey episode, and I got that humility quote. And when I was telling you, like, that really freed me from my perspective of what humility was and being what it meant to be humble
Mm-hmm.
was, man,
Yeah,
it's really an understatement. Cause it did it just seemed like just that definition of it and that perspective of it just like unlocked so much inside of me where
mm,
I just started seeing stuff just so different, and I'm like, yeah, this I don't have to think less of myself. I just have to think of self less. You know,
right,
I
right.
have to be more selfless, and like I'm like that's what I do. You know what I mean? That's what I do. So
You gain that greater appreciation.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. I'm like I can do that. So man, I was like, you know, how you would be reminiscing and be like, yeah, man, if I had this knowledge or if I had this income back when I was younger at this point in my life, I'd be here right now at this point in my life. You know how when you draw those little
yeah,
parallels and you
yeah, yeah,
be
yeah.
like, yeah. So man, I got to thinking and I'm like, but I do have this knowledge I have right now.
Right,
I
right.
do know how I grind back in the day. So I do know how to create that little income. So I was like, man, I'm about to I can't believe I'm saying this like publicly.
Uh,
I,
uh, uh
I'm
oh.
I'm about the beginning of the year. I'm about to get a second job.
Ooh,
Yeah,
ooh.
exactly, exactly.
All right.
I'm
Need to
about to
make
get.
room on the table.
Exactly, man, and you know, and that was that's really humbling to me because if you know me, like my message from for the like the last shit 7+ years been two jobs for two people. I never worked
Yeah.
16 plus hours in a day, 12 to 16 plus hours in a day. I'd never do all that stuff again. But what I started realizing, I'm like, I'm being selfish. I'm being selfish because
I
now
already see what you going. Yeah.
now I got all this knowledge. I got all these resources that I once didn't have when, I'm more responsible than I was 7 years ago. I'm 32, so that was about 20, 23, 20. Ooh, shoot, I'm
Yee,
getting old.
32?
23.
Big dog out here. Okay,
Yeah.
I see you, Jay. All right,
Nigga,
right.
you older than me, so shut up.
Hey, world will never know.
Yes, they do. His birthday in January, mine's in June. There they go. Now they know.
I will not confirm nor deny
But
such
yeah,
actions.
because I used to be like, yeah, man, I'm making $500 a week, and I got this and this and that and that. Like, if I had that now, I could do this with that, I could do that with that. So I'm like, shoot, what's stopping you from doing that now? Like, you can go out there and go and
Right,
make that
right, right.
extra, and so you can invest in other stuff, and you can open more doors up, and you can kind of add some gasoline to everything that you got going on now.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I said all of that to say this, like, that just boiled down to me, like, man, I'm tired, like, because I know, like, deep down inside, like, in my being, like, this is not the lifestyle I'm supposed to be living, because I do not like it here. You know, I hate it here.
Okay. I would ask a
lifestyle,
more in depth.
lifestyle,
Okay. All right.
lifestyle, not my life. I
Okay.
love my life, but
Okay.
the
Yeah.
lifestyle, it's a difference.
Thank
It's a difference.
you.
Now,
Hmm.
let me clarify. I'm not suicidal, guys. None of that, like, depression, none of that. So
I definitely put my head down. I'm like,
just,
please.
just calm down. Just calm down. Like, this lifestyle, I hate it here. Like,
All
this,
right. Got
this
you.
is
Got
not the lifestyle that I was meant to live, because I
you.
don't. It's just not. It's not me. So I'm like, so for 2021, I'm about to lace the boots and head down, and I'm about to go into this full-time grind one last time. Cause, like, I did it before, 12-hour days. And I did that. I was younger and I had a commute. Like, the way I'm setting it up now, like, I ain't gonna have no commute like that, because the second job it's really just me coming home from the first one, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Or I should say, after I'm done with the second one, I go to the traditional 9 to 5, and it's like me coming home. So it's not really like that commute and that time as far as the travel time and
Right. Right.
whatnot. So I'm like,
Right.
I'm gonna
Right.
put my head down and I'm gonna do this one last time, because it's so many things that I desire to create. And I think this just is I believe this the last piece of it. Putting everything from the last 7-8 years, from me being
Mm.
not being scared to work, 12+ hour days. My knowledge, the financial literacy that I have, the people I'm connected to. It's just putting all of that
Right. Right.
together,
Right.
putting it
Right.
all together,
Yeah.
and doing fucking work, and, like, really closing. I want to say, what I want to say, closing, closing this chapter
All right.
of my story.
Right. Right. No,
I should
I,
say.
I I get what you're saying, and I agree. I agree with most of what you're saying. The only thing out in the back of my head when you were saying I know this gonna be the last time or something. In the back of my head, I was like, nah, you don't know that because you might mess around and unlock another door, and then you're gonna have an even greater perspective or understanding of something, and it's gonna cause you to become even more driven in something else that's probably tied into it. I was thinking that in the back of my head because I've had several of those moments, and even the way you broke that down, my brother had something else, but he broke it down similar way you just did. And I was like, see, now that's I've said it so many times with so many people, and those are the moments that I actually call leveling up. So like if you get a text from me or something, you probably seen, I'd be like, I don't leveled up. Or I probably even said it to you before. That's what I mean. That's that moment of I leveled up. I gained a greater understanding, or I feel like I unlocked the door to something.
You
And
increase
then
your
just having
awareness.
that, yeah, and having that understanding, it's like now since I opened up another door, I can still look back at all these other doors and I'm like, yo, those doors are worth more now because of this door. And it's like, oh my God, it's a wrap from here on. And every time I do that, it's like, oh man, I'm gonna just keep going. I'm gonna keep going with it. Those are those leveling up moments. And at the end of that, you had mentioned fear. I forgot exactly the context you had put it in, but that is something else that I also believe holds us back when it comes down to being able to actually engage with those doors that level us up. And I believe that only because, of course, my own experiences, all the fears that I had held on to most of my life, period, all still tied to sickle cell, which was death, not knowing when or how or what if I died during these separate moments in life that I always thought about doing, or um, addiction between the pain medicines and stuff that gotta be on because the pain is excruciating. Like, and there's one more, but it's kind of tied into the death one as well. So I'll just say those two were the greatest fears of my life. Period. It didn't matter what it was. So even with people outside looking in, they had the image of this and that, but it was like it was really like life threatening. I want to say like it just stopped me from being able to even think about things on another level, period. But once I let those go and actually chose to engage with those and flip them on a different way, I was like, oh my God, I feel free, bro. I'm so freaking happy. Like from that day, it was like, I am free. Let's do this. I can take over the world. Like I really felt that. And I still feel like that to this day because now I don't feel like I'm fearing anything at all on any level. And I just keep getting those moments every time I choose to engage with what makes me me, that help me um, face those fears. It unlocked another door. It unlocked another
Facts.
door.
And I
Yeah.
love I never really even thought of this until shoot, you just really gave me that piece about that whole situation I just explained. And I think a lot of it with me not wanting to go back to doing, the 12-hour days or whatnot, I think a lot of that stemmed from fear. Fear that like shoot, I may get too content and get
Mm,
stuck here, type, and really not having, you know, a clear vision.
right.
Because now, like I got it all broken down. Like I got it laid
Right.
out.
Right.
I'm gonna have I'm gonna have X amount of extra cash flow coming in, and it's going to
Right. Right.
X amount of places, and at the I keep saying I'm only gonna do it for a year, but like you said, like you just said, like I just don't know like what's gonna transpire in this coming year that I've been like, you know what, I'm gonna
Right.
keep going a little bit because I can do this. But but
Yeah.
yeah, like a lot
That's
of it that was that fear, because I'm like, shoot, I'm gonna get stuck in this trap, and I'm just gonna be working
yep.
12+ hour days every day, and then what I'm gonna do?
Man. Yes, bro. With that, that's crazy you say that because I had to retype it because I wanted to bring it up, but I don't remember where I stored it at. So I just retyped it how I think I had wrote it. I had wrote this down. I think shoot it was probably last month, and it's more in depth. Like I wrote a lot on it for a different purpose, but for you to bring that up, well, for us to agree on the fact that it was fear on so many levels that kept us from leveling up or unlocking these doors. We feared the unknown because overall, looking at the picture overall, that's just what that was. We were fearful of the unknown. But
Absolutely.
then once we faced that, now fearing the unknown is actually the first step before anything else.
It is though. It,
Like
it
it's
is.
crazy how it's the
I wouldn't
exact
necessarily.
same thing,
I
but
don't know
flipped
if I
it.
would necessarily say fearing the unknown is the first step.
Well, I mean,
Acknowledging that you're gonna step into the
yeah, yeah,
unknown.
yeah. Accepting the unknown. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Flipping it. Yeah. Before it was fearing the unknown, and now it's accepting or taking those steps within the unknown is now the first step. It's like, yo, the exact same thing. You're still looking at darkness and you don't know what's what. And that's what scares you so much. But then once you face it, and then you get that confidence or you get that energy that fuels you, that keep you going, you be like, you know what? That darkness? Oh, I'm about to go see what's over there, boy. I know
facts.
something's over there.
And that's
That's
and
wow. Yeah.
and that's how we was brought up. That's what faith is. The evidence,
Facts.
the evidence of things not what is it? The evidence of things not seen, the substance of things. No, the substance
Nope.
of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. It's something like
I
that.
wasn't gonna even try. I would just whatever he
Yeah.
say. Yep.
No, but I think that's the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. I believe that's the correct definition.
Okay.
It's sound right, at least. The
I
substance
mean,
of
it
things,
it
the
makes
substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Yeah, yeah, that's what faith is. So, you
okay.
know, and then that's just another example. Like we had this in
Right.
us and it was stored within us. So like what was the problem? And
We already had the core values within us, bro.
right,
Like
the core values, and like that just
that
goes
is
to
something, bro.
what I was saying when I was like those messages and all those sermons, they was for us, but they wasn't for us. They was
Hmm.
for us from the standpoint to stick those core values inside of us. But as far as like deciphering them and picking them apart and like truly understanding, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
what they
We
mean.
got it then in that service on that day. So we had the lock from that day. But the only thing we needed to really unlock the lock was the key, and the key is life. You gotta grow in order to get to that point, unlock it. You be like, yo, I get it now. You're not gonna get it right then in that moment. Some might because it's where you at in life. That's how I look at it. You still got to gain that growth spiritually and whatnot
You
to
do.
really appreciate it and to stay in that mode. So it's several ways it can be broken
Yeah,
down.
it's like, but I feel like we got the keys and the locks, and you say lock the
But
key is life, but we got both. Like we have both. Like here, these you gonna have to use these keys to open up these certain locks. That shit was always in front of us.
oh, you
It was
saying okay? Okay, I see how you saying it now. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it,
Cause
it,
I'm
it
like, we
was
got the locks. What's that? Those
it,
are the core values. They're in us,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
and
yeah,
the growth we need within life are the keys. I get what you're saying now. I get what you're saying.
absolutely,
I
because
got you.
you like that's the foundation. Like you got the foundation. Like look, this your foundation, but you're gonna have to experience different type of stuff to
That's a
actually
dope.
unlock this. Unlock it's like a like the the treasure chest that's left from the great grandfather. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right, right,
look,
right.
this the chest right here. This your foundation in here, but you got to go find the keys so you can unlock this chest to get all the other keys and unlock all the other locks that's gonna get you through the other doors. You know,
Bro.
it's
Oh my
always, you
God,
know.
yo. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna try not to mess this up. All right. If y'all don't get the picture as clear as I'm presenting it, I apologize. I will never try again. I'm lying. But I want to say this: how you just broke that down. I can't even repeat it, but everything you just said right there, and the way I envision it in my head, like imagine the whole body. You know how when you in a biology class and they got that picture of the body and then you see the organs and whatnot on the inside,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
bro. Now imagine all these little padlocks
Mhm.
on your heart, like on your soul, kidney, liver, like just all in your body, right?
Yeah,
And then it takes certain things in your life to unlock those things,
right.
and each one of those are something so different from one another that even if you knew it, you would still fear it because now you know that you gotta have that to unlock it. Like let's just say on the hard case, your lock would be a death of somebody that was really really close to you, and it says the name of the person, like this person dead, and that's the only way it unlocks. That's how I look at everything all
Mm.
the way through my entire life. Like
All
all of
right.
those moments
That's
become
relatable
stuff
as
like
hell.
that.
That's relatable as
Hey,
hell.
man,
Because I give it's just so amazing that you said the heart and just death it unlocks certain things because
man,
I
bro.
remember like when my dad first transitioned, man, it was something, it was a fire lit within me. Like I had never been more proud and ready to,
Mm.
you know, live on the legacy of my dad name than I had ever had before. Like it unlocked a certain type of sense of purpose inside of me where it was like, okay, like
Right?
yeah,
Right?
yeah, you know, kind of how you know how Spider-Man felt when he put on the suit. It was
Oh, this real.
right, like
Oh, this
dang,
real.
right,
Okay.
like hold on,
Man, bro.
like I can do that. Oh shoot, you know, it's like yeah, like
Like,
this my reality. Like
that's too awesome.
this how I always was supposed to be feeling, and like just
Right.
even that situation that I explained a couple weeks ago with Stevie, like he my dad working through him reminded me of that extra
Mm.
you know what I mean, like because I told you it was what I needed because
Yeah.
I was going like it was I had never seen I hadn't seen myself in the place that I was in years, and I just I really because you know like when you strong and you used to dealing with certain stuff, you like, man, like I'm gonna bounce this off like I always do. But like I say, like this time it was a little different because I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna bounce this one off. Like, well, like what's going on? Like I need help. And it was sent to me, and I'm just so grateful for that level of awareness to being able to accept it because I know it been times in my life where I haven't been able to accept it because it was just I'm just
Right.
stubborn. I'm just naturally stubborn. So it's like if I ain't rocking with it and I don't want to rock with it, like I'm just not gonna rock with it. Like
Right,
that's
right.
that's just how I am. That's just how I'm built. So
I mean, well,
I'm just so
we're
grateful for
still
those
built off
moments.
of we're still built off of emotion and energy at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, yeah, no
So
doubt, no
it's
doubt.
valid. It's valid. Man, like when you have a thought like that, or even like the example I just provided, like, how can you not look at everything like? I can conquer it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I'm like, that's how I feel. And me trying to get the understanding of someone else, like even though I was at that point, I still know that it's different things for everybody. But it's like, man, you know how you want somebody to get the picture so bad? You like,
Oh
bro, listen to this, man.
man.
Come on. Like this is genuine. This is value right here, bro. And then you know they just missing it, and it's like, dang, I really want you to get this, man. But I guess you gotta bump your
Yeah,
head. I mean, it
yeah,
is what
they
it
they they
is.
gotta bump their head and they have to start changing their environment because they got too many people around them
Mm,
giving them that
mm,
home broadcast. They get in that home
mm.
broadcast, like because they get in that home broadcast and everything looks sweet. You know what I'm saying? But you looking at it like, look, I don't know what
Yeah,
you want. I don't know what you want right now, but that just ain't it. Like
bro. Yeah,
that
yeah,
just
yeah,
ain't
yeah,
it.
yeah,
That just ain't it. Like I don't understand why you not getting this, or why do you have to, or what really just I'm better at it, or I'm better at it because I understand now that like maybe how I deliver something. Or the way I deliver certain things aren't just going to be received by certain people. They're gonna have to. It's gonna have to be delivered a different way. But I
yeah.
used to be bad
That's
on. I used to
Daddy
be
said
bad.
that.
I used to be bad on like when people would, like be watching something or then they'd come back to me and be like, "Yeah, I was watching this video and they was talking about this and this," and they'd be like all excited what the person talking about, and I'm
Right.
just
And you
looking
like,
at them
bro, I
like,
said that to you like so long ago.
I'm like, what do you mean?
Right.
Like it'd be to the point where I have to go back. I have to go back and watch what they watched, and I'm like, dang, what did they say, or how was they saying it?
Right, 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 right,
And I'm
right.
like, why
True.
wasn't the person? It kind of make me self assess in a way, like why wasn't the
Mm.
person that like why wasn't I credible enough for you? Like for you to
I
get
never
it.
thought about you
You know
looking
what
at it
I'm
like that.
saying? Like
That make a lot of sense now.
why wasn't I credible enough? Like, so what I gotta do to make myself more credible? Because I told you the
Hmm.
same thing. I told you the same thing. Like the
Right,
same
right, right.
exact thing. And now you coming back to me, tell me you heard it over here? Like, no, you heard it over here too. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
man.
No.
That's how I engage in situations like that, man. Yeah.
In a situation like that, I've never thought about that. How you look at it as looking at yourself not as credible in that moment for them to get it when you said it. What does that put more pressure on you being knowing that you said that to them and they didn't take it? Like, do you legit feel like you gotta make some changes and critique on Sibley's side just to do better, or is it still accepting the fact that they probably still wouldn't have got it until they did that?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both, cause and I think that's just more so me and my personality because I feel like no, I get people gonna get stuff when they gonna get
Mm.
it and they gotta get it, but how I'm built and my makeup, like I want you to get it when I'm telling you, cause I know,
Okay, okay, all right,
I
all right.
know this the direction. You know what I'm saying? So like, I have to like get over myself, and I have to get
Right,
over
right,
myself and be like, it goes back to that humility. Like it's not about you. It's not about you.
right.
Think of yourself a little less. Think of
Dang.
yourself a little less. So
Yeah, I've never thought about that. I'm like on my end, of course I have the same moments. I'm pretty sure most people do when you tell somebody something and then it takes some time then to come back around. It's like, man, blah blah blah, like you just said. On my end though, I think I've always I'll say this. Once I got to the point to where I cared to have discussions or at least go in detail with talking to someone, after I said my piece, that was it for me. Like if they didn't take it in, I didn't think about that. But then when I do hear about it, like come around full circle over some time, like say a year or something, they'd be like, now I get what you were saying, or I remember when you said that. I don't feel the way about it either. I think for me, it's just as long as I feel like I did my part, I'm cool with it. As long as it doesn't get to the point to where I feel like my energy was wasted, then I'm no longer cool with it. Because I can definitely think about multiple examples with family and friends. I've said something, and then I'm like, well, that's the most I can present because I can't control the situation, but I definitely gave you something,
Yeah,
and whether or not it happened, cool, I did my part.
yeah,
But
and
if
I
it,
and I think
yeah, that's it.
with me, a lot of it depends on my relationship with that person, how deep I stay into the like why you didn't get it from me, like why
Mm.
you didn't understand it from me, and that's why I was telling you I cannot wait until the cherish episode because a lot of this stuff that when I mention like not getting it and me telling a person, I'm talking about her because like I tell her a lot of stuff where she come back and be like, yeah, let not look at her like. And then I was like, yeah, baby. I don't know. All while I'm going in my head, like,
Oh
man,
man.
yeah, motherfucker, I told your ass that shit, you know, you know,
Ah,
but
yeah.
you can't be like that with people though. You can't cause nobody like the I told you so type of person. You know, nobody wants to hear that because I know I don't want to hear it. Like I told you so. Like you told me what? Like you ain't tell me nothing. Get on. That don't matter what you told me. It's what I'm telling you
Hey,
now. So
I know one person right now I could think of, and I'm not gonna say who,
nah,
but
fire them
definitely there
shots.
is.
Fire
Oh
them
no,
shots. This is a
no,
safe place here.
I'm trying to live peaceful in my home.
Oh shoot. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm hold on
Yeah.
to that.
Keep that one to yourself.
But
Keep
no. A lot of this I never really thought about like that,
hold on.
so
What you
it
saying?
makes
I
sense.
don't live peaceful in my home. I live peaceful.
Oh no, no shots
Like
at
that.
you.
No, okay.
It was no shots at
just
you,
making
never.
sure. I'm
Or
just
at least
making
not on this
sure.
episode, never.
She, she, she know I be talking my shit. That's why I can't wait until the episode, cause
Nah, I'm, yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. I was excited when you first told me about it. Now
first week of January, everybody.
I'm like
Uh,
consent. I'm like, all right, cool. It's gonna be the
first
same.
week, first week of January, everybody. I'm bringing the lady of my life on the podcast, and
Oh yeah,
we gonna wax deep on that
yeah.
episode.
That'd be nice. That'd definitely be nice. It's some man. Dang, yeah. That's something else that's gonna be enjoyable for me on the separate sides of things as well. Because then I'll be looking at it like in relation to this episode, how we're talking about how you growing but not necessarily growing. I've never applied some of the stuff, or I've never thought to apply some of the stuff that we speak about on the levels of relationship. Because
Mm,
a lot of things within relationship is
absolutely.
two is one package. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, I never thought about it like that. So it'll just give me more of a broader understanding through different perspectives of the two and one package. That's how I view it in my head. So dang, yeah. That's another value you gotta hold on to though, right? Isn't that like top three when it comes down to relationships?
As far as
How you was talking about the home broadcast.
um,
People sugarcoating what you need to hear instead of what you
what
gonna hear.
now? What you asking exactly now?
In regards to value within relationships, is that a high standard of
Oh hell yes, it is. Absolutely,
yeah, that's
absolutely.
what I was thinking. I'm like, is that
Yeah,
is that the thing or is that a separate
absolutely. Because you know me, like I ain't never. As long as you've been knowing me, you know me. Like I I was the one in high school that got the label like he just a hole. You know what I mean? Because I have no chaser. Like I tell it how it is, and it's like I'm just brutally honest. You know what I mean? Like I'm better at it now because I understand like delivery matters, you know,
Mm,
with certain people and in certain situations, delivery do matter. So I'm better at it, but I'm still the same. Like I'm still gonna give it to you
mm.
uncut. Like I
Right, right.
because I feel like that's why you coming to me. That's why you coming to me. Cause you know, like even if I'm even on like on the tip, like I hate to say it, but like I be on the like I don't really stress so much about telling people the same thing over and over again because I'm like, shoot,
Bro,
you keep coming to me, you keep coming
yes.
to me for a reason, so I'm just gonna keep on giving it to you the same way I've been giving it to you. So like, shit, this ain't nothing new. Like you need it.
Hey, man,
You
look.
must it must
Hey,
spark something within you when you hear me tell you the shit. So you might need that. You gonna break through one day. And like that's night
better
and
than me.
day because I know I was just saying like I didn't always feel like that though. Like I kind of like just kind of adapted that and got that way. And because it's the humility. I told you, man, that humility definition it freed me from a lot of stuff, man, that I was dealing
Hey.
with like mentally and on a serving tip because like my the intro is not just an intro. I live that. Like serving people is who I am, is what I do. Like it's the essence of who I am. Like it's what I done always been in the position to serve people, whether it was at church when we was being put to work, or whether my mama putting me to work through her work, you know, or just, you
Facts, facts.
know, or even now with the podcast and the way, you know, we use it as a platform to get out there and help free people
Right, right.
and to serve value, you know. So I didn't always like so, and I had just felt like I wasn't giving it all, and that humility definition, it just man, it freed me. Like I can't stress that. Like it freed me from a lot
I
of
can
stuff that
tell.
I was dealing with then because like I'm more free now. You know, I'm more free now because I'm like, oh, I always been humble. I always move with humility. Like that's who I am, you know. So
Right.
yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I see just with that one question alone, you gave me a lot right there. I'm like, okay. I think I know the direction. If I wanted to go in a direction, I think I know which direction I would go, but we'll see. But I
Yeah.
get all that. That makes sense though. I like it. Wow.
Yeah. And
Hmm. Yeah, I got some other stuff. I'm gonna hold on to it though. I'm gonna hold on to it though. I don't want to go too far left.
no, don't give me no home broadcast, man. Don't give me no
What?
home
I
broadcast.
ain't giving you no home
No
broadcast.
broadcast,
I'm choosing
man.
whether or not to give you the broadcast now or later. Which one holds more suitable? That's what it is. That's what it is, really. Something else though to go with what we're talking about. It's probably gonna be my last little piece that I'm thinking about. Because within all of this, we talked about what helped us unlock that door and still also being aware of us growing along, in life and paying attention to your atmosphere and those around you. Where does maturity come into any of this?
Oh, it comes into it. I mean, it's a big part of it. It's a big part of it
Think
because
so?
absolutely. Because
Cause
part
I'm like,
of
go ahead, my fault.
a part of accepting, you know, and being able to accept and walking into that unknown and like getting over that fear, it's a level of maturity that you have to reach. And you have to understand and mentally like the current me now isn't qualified. It's like old girl. It's like the old girl, like I was saying on the World Star. Like when my man
Oh
saying, like,
Lord Jesus.
you not qualified for a six-figure earner. Like you not
Oh
qualified
Lord.
for it. Like so, it come with maturity.
Right.
It come with maturity level in that to like to really be real with yourself and say like, is this current me right now the same person that can handle the things that I desire? Can the current me right now
Right.
handle the things that I desire? And the answer to that is no, because
Well, true.
you wouldn't be the current you. You would have those things that you desire
True. True.
because
True. True. True.
you the current you. So it takes a level of maturity to understand that like I gotta do some shit different. Like I gotta grow up. I gotta change,
Mm.
And a lot. See, I don't want to get too much because that's the cherish episode. Like too much
That's what
into
I
it, but
see. Now
I
you
guess
see.
a snippet of it is just like with me becoming a father and becoming responsible, like just making sure I keep my family together. Like it's a level of maturity in that because you see deadbeats all the time, and like that's why I said like yes, you have to mature if you want to elevate. If you
Mm.
want to eventually elevate, because I yeah, that I don't want to get too deep into that because that's the other
Boy.
episode. That's the
Oh
other
man, I got
episode.
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
listening to you for sure. I got yeah.
yeah, but you have to
Man, boy.
mature at some point in order if you want to, like you say, level up. If you want to go to that next level.
Right. When you hear somebody saying something to you, let's say your inner circle, you hear somebody in your circle saying something to you that you probably hear somebody outside of your circle, let's say at work or whatever, say it, but there's resistance just because of who the person is when they said it, but yet you still know it's the truth, but you know it's the truth, and you still never made the actions despite who said it, but you still have a heavy resistance just because of the person said it.
Get out your feelings.
Mm.
You stuck up in your emotions. You stuck up in your emotions. You allowing, and that's I can relate to that most definitely. That's why I said get up out your feelings, because anytime I was like that, it's just like, oh, like listen how dumb this sound. That was some good advice, but I don't like that person, so I'm not gonna take it. You stuck in your emotions. Look how stupid that sound. Like,
No,
yeah,
it does. You're right. You're right.
like,
I agree with you 100%.
look how dumb that sounds. Like, damn, that was some good advice, but fuck them. I don't fuck with them, so I ain't gonna listen. What?
Right. And now you
What?
know the circle around you is even accepting your response that way. So you don't even have a real true engagement to actually do better just because your circle is like, man, yeah, no, I feel you. I feel what you're saying. They're not giving you no resistance or truth behind it. They just more so following at the end of the day. And then by the time you actually take the action to do it, you realize the whole time you just wasted time with your surrounding, the people around you. And now you got to cut these people off for different reasons. But yeah, only because one person told you to do it, you didn't.
Facts, and that's why I just say it's just like that humility definition, man. I don't keep going back to it because, like I say,
Man,
it freed me. It freed
no,
me.
no,
It
it's
freed me.
real.
It's
It's
not
real.
about you. Think of yourself less. Wait. Yeah, think of yourself less. I'll be having to make sure I say it right because it can be kind of be a tongue
Right,
twister.
right, right, right.
think of yourself less. Like this shit is not about you. You know what I'm saying? This is not about you at all. So you need to do what's required. Like, cause I think I mentioned it before on the podcast. Like
Dang, man, that's fierce.
I had many moments where I was like I don't know about this right here, but
Mm-hmm.
shoot, I know it's required to get to where I want to get. So I'm gonna have to suck it up and I'm gonna have to do it. Like just flat out. Like it. Oh, that's a perfect example from last week when when I got that question, I was like, man, like I
Oh,
do not remember this episode. This was the third episode in. Like, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to this episode. Like, I did not want to
facts.
do that, but it was required in order for me to get the context of the question, in order, to answer it, and give the ultimate value on it. Like, you're gonna have moments like that in life all the time, I believe, where you're gonna have
Yeah,
to
definitely.
suck up and do some stuff that you may not like. Well, even with me saying getting a second job, like that is something I don't necessarily want to go this route, but I feel like at this moment of time in my life, it's required to get to the next level. It's it, it's it's
Dang.
required to
See,
get to the next level, so
it's something
it's
how
necessary.
once you conquer your fear of something, it unlocks so much stuff within you. It's not just
Facts.
one thing. You've been fearing that one thing for so long, but yet as soon as you face it and unlock it, you find out that it was multiple things the whole time. Like you had so many things hidden behind that one door, and you didn't even realize until you faced it. Dang, man, that's just that's just amazing to me. I'm just thinking about life overall. I'm still going back to that image of how I look at that, like having different locks all within your body in different parts that represent you. And then the one thing you could have that one thing, bro. You mess around and face that fear, then you done unlocked everything with one thing. Like what?
Right.
How
Right.
disappointed you gonna be? You find out you wasted your time fearing that for 12 years, and you could have had all the locks unlocked, bro.
Facts. That's most
Oh
definitely
man,
a fact.
man. I love that. I love that.
That's
Mm,
most
mm,
definitely
mm.
fact. So everybody, the point of this, well, discussion
It
was
was a
to
lot, to be honest.
get rid of those home broadcasters,
Facts.
those ones that's making you feel good about being mediocre.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
And
those that's
that,
making it acceptable for you to continue to fear what you need to face
yeah,
in
like
life.
like they telling you it's okay that you average. It's okay
Yeah,
that you
just
it's okay that you average. You don't have to be phenomenal. And many people aren't phenomenal. Why are you trying to be phenomenal? You can be average too. Get those people out your circle.
those the
Get them
same
out your
people that be
circle.
like, it's gonna take time. Don't worry. In time, everything will work
Exactly.
out.
No, it's gonna take your
In
ass
time.
getting up off your ass and doing some work. Get to work.
Oh,
Get
bro.
to work. Come,
In
come,
time.
come. Get over yourself. Get out your feelings. Get out your emotions. You
Facts.
too deep in your emotions. Get in the present moment of now. Surround
Man.
yourself with the right people and get to work. Period. Or how
Man,
they
yeah.
or how they say the ratchet
True.
version. Period with a T.
Oh Lord.
Period.
Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus.
Period, boo, sus, or bruh,
Oh
whatever.
man. Hey, face your
Period.
unknown, bro. If you can't have people around you to help you face the unknown, I really don't see the purpose in them being there.
And
Because
it's
clearly
not.
they're not presenting anything for you to go into the
And it's
unknown.
not. And the reason that they doing that with you it's because they got somebody else that's doing it with them. So they projecting it back to you,
Oh,
and
that's another
it's
thing.
just a
Yeah,
different chain reaction.
I ain't
So
even think about that.
you just rid yourself
Dang, this could
or
be a
just
part two because I didn't even think about
that's
that.
that's a toxic environment because it's all
Shoot.
interchangeable. It's a circle of life. Get
Yeah,
yourself in a different circle.
energy is transferred, never lost.
Absolutely,
That's real.
absolutely,
Even with the fate. Even with the fate.
absolutely, absolutely. So
Dang.
we appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all go get us some ratings. Go rate the podcast. Leave a review. Um,
Yeah, I know a lot of y'all scared to leave a comment.
no, y'all leave. Don't be afraid. We gonna any comment. We gonna engage on it and we gonna
I know
dig deep.
y'all fearful of the unknown.
Don't be fearful. We giving you a national broadcast here. Go ahead and hit send next time you typing out that line, cause
Right.
we check our feelings at the door. We know it ain't nothing personal. It's just a different perspective, and that's what we all about at the end of the day. So give us those
Yeah.
reviews, give us those feedbacks. Like I say, we desire for this to be a top 10. You know what? I'm not about to set the bar that low. A top 3 self-improvement
Hey, I was saying three in my
podcast.
head. I was gonna fix it when she
Yeah,
got it done anyway.
yeah. A
But
top
I'm glad you
3
got it.
self self-improvement podcast in the world. In the world, Craig.
In the world.
In the
Top flight.
world. In the world. Top flight podcast in the world,
Man.
Craig. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, man. We ain't got nothing else for y'all this week. We appreciate y'all. Love y'all. See y'all next week. Let's create.
Let's create.